Some people need to be near water. Some people need to have a view of the ocean. I have been imprinted by mountains. I was born and lived for a decade in the desert valley of Phoenix, Arizona, surrounded by mountains in all four directions, the Superstitions, the Whites, South Mountain, Camelback. This landscape informed my sense of how the world should look, a range in the distance to rest your eyes on. We had no air conditioning in the early 60s, so we escaped Phoenix summer heat by long car rides to the national parks of the West. We camped out and climbed those glorious peaks in the Bitterroots, the Tetons, the Sawtooth, the Chiricahuas, the Sierra Nevada Glacier, on and on. Very early in my life, mountains came to represent a gateway to the divine. The majesty of mountains seemed to prove the glory of God's creation. I have a strong early memory of me on a horse in a quaking aspen meadow on the shoulder of Mount Baldy in southwest New Mexico, surrounded by my family, singing "This Is My Father's World." Or seeing Zion for the first time, where the land slopes away and those curving rims look like open arms of protection. No wonder the Mormons sought refuge there. Or the red rocks of Sedona, worshipped for millennia, where if you can get away from the crowds and far enough up the trail, you can still feel the presence of the many pilgrims who have come there before. Mountains have always been places of transcendence. Feet on the ground, heads in the clouds. I have grown fond of the older, softer Green Mountains of Vermont these last 30 years. What they lack in spiky grandeur, they make up for in verdant, accessible beauty. These are now the mountains I rest my eyes on. I love to watch the season's color begin from the top in the fall and creep down to the valley. In spring, the opposite. The red buds begin the color from the bottom and flow upwards in the warming days. Mount Abe is my neighbor now, and I love her best when her face turns pink in the sunset of winter. In these strange times, the mountains and hills of Vermont have provided local, intimate solace. Hiking Snake Mountain like a weekly meeting with a friend, even Shipman Hill at lunchtime, gives a view and an expansiveness much needed in the claustrophobic moment. My love of mountains even informs my understanding of Scripture. I will lift mine eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my strength. I always thought that passage was complete just like that, instead of a leading question. From whence cometh my strength? From the hills, of course.